Digitel is one of the leading companies helping associations leverage their content through event live streaming, webinars, and knowledge distribution. Take advantage of their 32 years of streaming success in generating revenue for their clients than any other company, hands down. For more information on Digitel, go to digitelinc.com.
Are you a follower? Okay, so we're gonna be
Welcome to GatherGeeks, a podcast by BizBash, the place where people passionate about meetings and events come together. Here are your hosts, BizBash CEO David Adler and Executive Editor Beth Kormanik.
Welcome to GatherGeeks. Today our guest is Gavin Kiley. His Los Angeles-based company, GBK Productions, is a fundraising and special events company that, among other services, produces gift suites. And that's what we wanted to talk with him about today. So welcome to GatherGeeks, Gavin.
Well, thank you.
You are like the pro guy when it comes to gifting suites. How has this practice evolved and changed over the years, and what's the present state of it?
I think the main way that it's changed is, interestingly enough, many of the celebrities prior to attending literally ask what's going to be there. They used to come, without even asking that question. But I think that the more that they attend these gift lounges, the more they want to know what's going to be there prior to them spending their valuable time in coming. I attribute it to a couple things. One is, unfortunately, there's a lot of, for lack of better words, bad lounges out there, meaning that sometimes some of these celebrities have gone to gift lounges where, they're just giving out, dog treats or water bottles or, nothing that's really a substance or a value. So now many of the celebrities, especially with GBK, they say, at the risk of sounding egotistical, they say, we're the best and they'll only come to ours. But they still ask the question.
So what is the arrangement with celebrities who attend as you're inviting them? What do you expect from them? And we've heard a little bit about what they expect from the experience already, but how does that work?
So the celebrities really know that it's a quid pro quo, meaning that when they arrive, they're being walked around by a talent handler. They're being introduced to each brand. But then when the watch company, for example, gives them a watch, they'll put the watch on and they'll take a photo with the watch. They'll actually hold it up and really pose in some respect with that product. Or even if it's a vacation, they'll stand there, with a gift certificate. But it really is, where the brands are getting photos with the celebrities in exchange for giving their product to them.
Can you step back a little bit and describe the experience for the guest? Where is it? How do they get in? How VIP is this area? Just give us, paint the picture.
Definitely. So it depends on the lounge itself, but typically, again, we'll do these gift lounges prior to the Emmys, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, MTV Movie Awards, Grammys, all the big award shows. So we reach out to the nominees and presenters. We really have three criteria as far as the talent that we invite to the lounge. One is, of course, as I alluded to, the nominees and presenters. The next category would be any of the top-tier talent that would be in any of the nominated movies or TV shows. Next criteria is kind of a hybrid now, and that is a celebrity that would typically make it into Us Weekly, In Touch, People Magazine. And now it's social media. So, we really do look at the celebrities or the bloggers or the influencers, whatever you want to call them. And if they have, over 1 million or 2 million followers, we'll invite them too, because our brands, want that exposure. And it's a great way for a brand to meet some of these influencers to potentially get them as spokespeople or something like that.
What does the room look like? Where is it?
The room typically takes place at a hotel. More often than not, we will do it at a 5-star property. So we'll do it at a place like the Four Seasons or a rooftop of L'Hermitage in Beverly Hills. We definitely spend a substantial amount on decor. We really want it to look elegant and make the celebrity feel comfortable is a Oscar or Emmy party. Of course, we'll have, cocktails and food and, sometimes serving caviar and champagne. And it's really an experience. And the celebrities enjoy it. They enjoy it because sometimes, they see their friends there, that they haven't seen in a while. And so they'll sit down and, kind of socialize a little bit with them. But upon the celebrity arriving, we give a talent handler to them with a very large, some people call it a body bag because that's how big the bags are. So it's a very big gift bag that all the items go into. And the talent handler will walk them around with a clipboard with their name on it so everyone knows who they are. Because believe it or not, the celebrities don't always look like their tip sheets or their headshots. So basically they'll be walked around, they'll get all the items. Some of the celebrities come just to collect a bag for their charity of choice. So every event that we do, we actually have 2 or 3 charities on site as well. And what that means is that we give them the opportunity to be there at no cost to them. So they, too, have the opportunity to educate the celebrities and the press about their cause in hopes of getting them involved. And then we give 20% back of everything that we do to the charities that are on site as well.
Interesting. And just to clarify, for the big event weekends, like award shows that you mentioned, you're taking place around the same time as the event, but you're not affiliated with the actual events. Is that right?
That is 100% correct, yes.
Let me go back a little bit in time, though. It used to be that the gifting suites and the gift bags were thank yous from the organizer, right? Did this evolve? Did this change?
So it evolved originally, if we really go back in time, probably over 10 years ago. Oscars used to give about a $100,000 gift bag to the celebrities. And the gift bag, once they received that, had some tax ramifications to it because a celebrity, or anyone for that matter, is not allowed to receive a gift valued at $600 or more without being taxed. So Oscar, in particular, stopped doing the gift bags because of that tax issue. And with the gift lounges, the celebrity is not taxed on any item valued under $600. So it's each individual vendor that is giving them the gift. GBK is not giving them a $30,000 or $40,000 gift bag. GBK actually isn't giving them anything. It's the brands, the individual brands, that are giving them individual gifts valued more often than not less than the $600 value. And if it's valued at more than that, then it's between them and their tax advisor to figure out what they want to do.
So since you brought up gifts themselves, let's get into it. What do you look for in vendors that you ask to participate in the lounge?
We always want the product to be valued more often than not. There are some exceptions at $100 or more because we feel though the celebrity, if they're going to take a photo with that product, that it should be of something of value. Again, there are some exceptions. There's some beautiful candles that are $70 or something like that. Or, we've even thought outside the box a little bit because Tic Tac wanted to participate in one of our events. And obviously it would be a little hard to give them $100 worth of Tic Tacs.
Tic Tacs.
Exactly. So what they did is they gave them a huge box of Tic Tacs, but they made a $100 donation in the celebrity's name to cancer care. And a lot, actually, where we say, okay, if you come over to this booth, they'll make a donation in your name to charity. We've actually raised over $3 million in the last 2 years to a variety of causes through partnerships with our brands in trying to think out the box that way.
That sounds like one of the trends, having this altruism component. Is that a way that you're able to bring in the celebrities who may be reluctant to go to something so overtly and transparently, as you said, like a quid pro quo?
Yes, definitely. And again, the celebrity can come and collect a gift bag for their charity of choice as well, which we love them doing that. It's to us, that's a win-win-win. But yeah, they definitely do enjoy the charitable component. They enjoy, being there in that respect.
So the sweet spot is somewhere maybe between $100 and $600. Obviously, you have some items that go beyond that. In this most recent award system, what were the most popular? What stood out to you among the offerings that were most popular with the celebrity attendees?
So we had a brand called Jusko watches, and watches are always a big hit. We had Burke Williams, which is a spa here locally in Southern California, and then one of Viola Davis's favorite things was Moraga wines. It's a very high-end wine, but then everyone loved something that was valued a little bit more than the $600. It was valued at actually $10,000. We had a Michelin star chef from Italy, a company called Il Palato, brought them in, where they offered a meal at the celebrity's home for 12 to 16 people, where they come in and they literally bring Italy to their home.
That sounds amazing. And what's interesting about that one is that it's an experience, not an actual thing. So
we love doing experiences. We love it. I mean, everything from vacations to even, certificates to the new IMAX virtual reality place, to Club 33 at Disneyland. We love being able to give the celebrities experiences and things that they can do with their family and friends.
So with all of this sort of the glamour, a lot of people listening to this are doing their own charities and their own events. What advice do you give to a local charity in the local market that wants to create a gifting suite so that their VIPs can feel like VIPs? Is that something that you would advise?
So a donor.
A donor, yeah.
So that's where it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes to get the brands to donate the products unless they're getting something in return. So sometimes, and again, it depends on the event, if you have 20, 25 celebrities there, you can then get a brand to give you 50 items. So you can get it to the 20, 25 celebrities, and then you can also do it to your top 20, 25 donors. So it's kind of a hybrid then, where everyone gets to experience the gift lounge.
Let's say a gift lounge is you can fake it for the charity so that you actually, one of the sponsorship opportunities to pay for the products in a gift lounge. Is the experience still worth it? So that the people at the other end feel like they're getting that VIP experience, even though the quid pro quo doesn't work with the brand.
Right.
Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, no, it does. And there are some brands that are willing to just donate product, to a gift bag. So then you could create your own gift lounge out of those products too.
Can you go into the business model then a little bit of why are these people doing it in terms of what do you do as the middleman of this? And you said that these are independent from the organization. Who is sponsoring the lounges? Are there competitive lounges in the same event? Clarify that a little bit for us.
So a couple of things. One, there's definitely competition in some respect. We've been doing it for 15 years. So there's other companies out there that try to do what we do. That being said, there's probably about 10 or 15 other companies that are trying to do that. But the business model is simple. We charge a fee to participate in the lounge. The fee ranges anywhere between $5,000 up to $50,000 to be a title sponsor at one of our events. The title sponsor would be, would have a lot larger space. They would have their name on the press wall. They would be mentioned in all the press. They'd be mentioned in, wire image links of all the photos. But really, I'd say 80% of our clients spend about $5,000 to $7,500 to be at the event. What do they get in return for that investment? They would receive 50, 60 photos with recognizable celebrities. In addition to that, they would have the opportunity to meet 30 to 40 press outlets. And the press outlets then, of course, write stories on them, from Huffington Post to Us Weekly to In Touch to People Magazine. But the brands also can use all the photos that they get. They get those photos and they can use them in social media. They can put them on their website. They can submit them to press. They can do a variety of things with them. The only thing they cannot do is use them in any type of paid advertisement. So they can't go, if they get a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio, they can't, go do a big billboard with that.
So when you invite social media stars or bloggers, influencers, is there in their invitation a requirement that they post about these items or their experience, or does that you just have to rely on that happening organically?
No, actually, with the bloggers and influencers, there is a requirement. So with them, we do require that they post at least 5 times.
And then with the celebrities, it's not a factor, right?
It is not. No. With them, it's just the photos.
Great.
How does the celebrity sort of cross the line between endorsement and just using the product? I mean, some of them have endorsements, so they can't go near another product, right?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that have endorsements, then they just simply don't go to that product. They know who they have agreements with. So in that respect, if a company has, if they already have a watch sponsor or they're a sponsor of L'Oreal, then they wouldn't go near the other products.
So they really have to know what their lives are about. What about, so your job, it sounds like you're like a matchmaker, but you need to really know the celebrity and the blogosphere world. I mean, that seems to be your secret sauce. You've got to get the right people there.
Correct. And press.
And press. And how do you do that? What does that look like in your end? What does your organization look like?
I mean, just, through relationships over the years, and the press want to be there for a variety of reasons. They want to see the latest and greatest new products. They also want the photos of the celebrities that they can use in their pieces, or they want to be able to interview them. It's a great place for Us Weekly or In Touch, to spend a couple hours to be able to get one-on-one interviews with some of the celebrities. Some of the celebrities even show up and actually say, what press is here, because they want to do interviews. They want to talk about their latest product.
How do you deal with the celebrity that decides to send somebody that doesn't quite qualify? Are you watching the door and not letting people in?
Oh, correct. Oh, yeah. No, that doesn't happen.
You don't allow them to come in. You make it not happen.
Correct. Yeah. No, it is the celebrity themselves that has to come to receive the product.
So if it's a nephew or niece, it doesn't work.
No.
So you have to be sort of the tough guy at the on the phone, I guess.
Well, I have a PR team that does that for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult for me to do that because a lot of them are actually my friends.
Oh, that's tricky. The concept works really well for these big event weekends, award show weekends, but, it doesn't always work in every market. And, one notorious example from the past couple of years was the negative press around the gift lounge that took place during the weekend of the White House Correspondents Association dinner. So what's the scenario where the concept works and what's the scenario where it doesn't work?
I laugh about the White House Correspondents one, because that was blown so over proportion. I mean, really, more often than not, it works. It works in really almost any environment except for Washington. It works basically if there's celebrities there. I mean, that's the bottom line. If there's, like Sundance, it works, and the Cannes Film Festival, it works. We're going to be doing Monaco, the Grand Prix this year. It works there. It really does work wherever there's talent, celebrities. It even works at, charity events where there's a substantial amount of celebrities there. So we'll do, the GLAAD Awards, for example, but there we just call it a thank you lounge, a thank you for the celebrities coming and participating and lending their name, sharing their time with the people there.
Put your crystal ball hat on and tell us what's the next phase of this? What new innovations are coming down the pike?
The new innovations are, and we're already starting to do this too, is some digital gifting. So meaning that the celebrity fills out a form, and there's 20 items on there, and they check mark what they want, their size and where to mail it to. Frankly, I don't feel like that's as effective because there's still the challenge of potentially ever getting that photo that is really the most valuable part of the gift lounge. I honestly do not see that model working as well, although we're trying to incorporate that as well. Kind of at our event, we're trying to do a little hybrid. But again, I don't.
So in that model, the celebrity doesn't actually show up. They just
they still show up, but they get certain things where they're taking the photo, and other things that they're just kind of check marking what they want. And the only reason why it works a little bit for the brands is the brands don't have to pay as much to be there. So if the brands don't have a budget, then they can still gift the celebrity, but not receive a photo.
So then what do they do? What's the value for them in sending off this gift?
The main value would be that they would hope that the celebrity would wear it, use it, tweet it, post, but there's no guarantees.
So it sounds like the outside person listening to this, going to a lounge sounds so glamorous. I mean, it is Hollywood, the epitome of what Hollywood is. And I guess that's the feeling that you have to create, correct?
It definitely is. And honestly, I don't see it changing much. I mean, because unless the celebrity signs a contract that once they receive the item, that they'll tweet about it. But, that's so much more work for them. And it's not as organic for them. They're opening the box and then they're having to think about how they want to post it and all that versus, we really have it down to a science where they literally walk from booth to booth to booth. We have our photographers there. There's one photographer assigned per every 3 or 4 brands. We never miss a shot. We say, can we just get a quick shot of you to move you along? I really don't see it changing much in the near future. I mean,
but I'll tell you what it does sound like, though. It sounds like if you're a new brand, this is like stop number 1 in terms of your marketing, because it puts your product in a really interesting space.
I've always said that if I had a brand that was my last $5,000 or my first $5,000 to spend, I would spend it this way, because how much easier is it to get 40 or 50 photos with celebrities?
Yeah.
Really with implied endorsements of your brand.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Gavin. This was really interesting, and hopefully our listeners can determine whether such a concept is right for them. I think your point about the rebrand as the thank you lounge at a charity event like GLAAD makes a lot of sense, and maybe can work for some less celebrity-filled, events that still want to practice some marketing in this way.
Pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah. And Gavin, for people who want to know more about GBK or you, how do they get in touch with you?
They can either shoot me an email directly, gavin@gbkproductions.com, or they can go to our website, gbkproductions.com.
Great. Thank you so much for being such a big contributor to the event industry. We love the fact that you like the face-to-face better than the digital, proponents of getting people together at all costs. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. We can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Player FM, Google Play, and Pocket Cast. Be sure to leave us a rating and review. It helps others discover the GatherGeeks podcast. We'd also love to hear from you. You can leave feedback on Twitter @GatherGeeks or leave us an email, gathergeeks@bizbash.com. We hope you'll join us again for the next episode of GatherGeeks. Until then, gather on. If you are looking for a state-of-the-art learning management system, take a look at Digitel's newest platform, Opus DX. Opus DX offers the robust platform for event organizers and associations to manage content. To learn more and schedule a demo, email them at contactus@digitelinc.com. That's contact us at digitellinc.com.